First of all, welcome to everybody. I think it's a great opportunity again to catch up with everybody and do it in such an easy way for me. It's working very well, but I'm certainly open to feedback from everybody about how they're finding the meetings and if there's any way that we can improve or make things easier. Tech Talk for the 12th of March. Let's dive in. So what we're going to talk about today is more about an inwards focused approach. And the reason I want to do that is because I think it's going to bring to your attention some of the changes that I've made in my business. And but I wanted to point out that there's no need to take notes because today's session is being recorded. Your face or your details won't be released as part of this video. At the end, I'll stop the recording and open it up for questions. So the presentation today is purely going to be just me talking. So that's the part that will be recorded. And then at the end, we'll open up, as I said, for questions, and I'll turn off the recording at that point. So no need to take notes today. Everything, you'll be able to go back and just watch the session. I will send a link out to everybody that's come to the meeting, and also people who weren't able to make it to the meeting. You'll be able to have a look at that. I'll put a link up on my website, and you'll be able to just click on that link and it'll take you to the presentation. And as I said, I'm not here to gather your personal information or share that information with anybody else, so your privacy is protected. So today, as I might have mentioned earlier, we're going to have a look what's on the inside. We're going to look at our website. We're also going to look at how you might be able to, for those that haven't yet joined our newsletter, how you can do that. And also, if you want to book an appointment with me, and I think this is probably the biggest innovation I've made in the last few weeks about making it easier to get in contact with me, and also, more importantly, book some time with me. The way that I've changed this is not so innovative in today's standards, but certainly it's a big leap forward for my business. So let's have a look as well what that might look like. So first of all, my website. I'm just going to see if this works. I'm really hoping it does. I'm just going to drag another screen in front of here, and you should be able to see what my website looks like. So the link to my website is on my business card, and it's also my business name. So it's PeterIT.com.au. And when you either search that, or if you go to a website and you type it in the address browser, or the address bar in the browser, this is what will come up for you. It'll also work well on a tablet or on a mobile phone. It'll come up and look very much like it does here. Some of the pictures will be rearranged to make it fit onto the screen better, but certainly the key points that I want to point out today about my website are you should be able to see all of these buttons on no matter which device you pick up. And if you can't, they're not very far from the top. So the main idea of the way I've restructured my website here today is that this big red word in the middle that says Get Remote Support is an active link. So you just have to either touch that if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, or you click your mouse on it and it will automatically download my remote support program for you. It won't install it, but that one step closer to getting it onto your device is much easier than it has been in the past. And also signing up for the newsletter, it's a button as well. So if you click this button, essentially if you touch it or you hover your mouse over it, it changes shape so that it indicates that you're about to touch it. But if you click that button, it takes you to a very simple form that you fill in, and your details go into my system. And from that point forward, you can receive my newsletter. If you choose at any time, there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom of every newsletter. So if you're not wanting to receive my newsletter anymore, you just scroll all the way to the bottom and there's an unsubscribe button here. You just push that link and it will automatically unsubscribe you. But I'm hoping you'll stay, and if you do for any reason find that you're not receiving my newsletter, you can come to my website and click this button and you'll be back on the newsletter. Um, I'm gonna come back to this guy. I think this book in with Peter button. So I'm just going to move this out of the way again, and we've had a look at that. In fact, there's the address. That's the address that I mentioned earlier, peterit.com.au. So that's pretty straightforward. What have we got next for you? Joining a newsletter. So as I said, it's on the website. Click this button. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to bring this website back onto the screen, and I'm actually going to click this button, and hopefully it works. So this is as simple as it gets, as I can possibly think that I can make it. You fill in the first box, which is your email address. You then fill in your first name and your last name, and then you click that subscribe button. So really, as simple as I can make it. I may then, maybe later on, I may contact you and say, I don't have, say, your address or your phone number, but that would normally only happen if I had a request from you to visit your residence or maybe contact you about a job or some work. The initial contact that would probably be made would be through email. So that's trying to keep that as simple as I can. Back to the presentation. So that should be pretty straightforward for anybody who hasn't subscribed. Let's go back and see what else I've got hidden here. Booking an appointment. This is pretty exciting. I think, from my liking, one of the most innovative things I've probably done in my business since I started. In fact, I'm so excited about it. I couldn't help put it in today's presentation. Booking with Peter. So when you click this link on my website, so if you don't have the link to my calendar, and this essentially is a link directly into my calendar. If you don't have a link, you just go to my website and you click on this button. And essentially, if I bring my website back onto the screen, if I can get back, here we go. You'll see the Booking with Peter button. You click this button and it essentially takes you directly into my calendar. Now, at the moment, as you can see, there are only 4 days available in the near future, and I don't extend my calendar out infinitum. I do have a limit on the number of days you can book ahead, but that doesn't stop you from wanting, if you need to, you can book in with me via email. Pardon me. So if you have to book in via email, that's fine. But booking here actually gets you directly into my calendar. So when you see these blue dots, for example, if you wanted to make an appointment with me on Thursday, which is the first day that I'm available between now and the 21st, you click the button and a number of times come up down the side. So you would choose one of the times that are available, and my window of opportunity generally opens at about 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon and goes all the way through to 9:40 p.m. That initial, when you click that button, that automatically sends you to the next page, which says I want to confirm that time. And then all it does is it asks your name, your email address, and your phone number. If you choose to put a mobile phone number in the bottom, it will send you a text message to remind you of the appointment. And at the designated time, if you've put your email address in, it will pop up in your calendar and it will give you all the details for that meeting. The exciting thing that's also here is if you wanted to add additional people to your meeting, say for example, and I use the example of the Carlisle Computer Club committee. If Karen wanted to have a meeting with me and she wanted to invite, say, Pam and John, she can click the add guest button and she can add more email addresses in, and they would also be invited to that meeting. And at that point, we can also link in to a Google Teams meeting or a Google Meet. So it's getting smarter and it's getting easier to set up meetings virtually online. And this for me is a very good innovation that is going to make my life easier, but more importantly, hopefully make it easier for you to book in with me. Now, the good part about this, for my liking, I don't require you to phone me to tell me you've made the appointment. It automatically sends me an email to tell me that you have made the appointment. So this will reduce the need for a phone call, and it will automate more of that process of having a meeting with me. So that's a very happy moment in my life, I can assure you. If you get my newsletter, there is always at the bottom of every newsletter these two big red squares. And what these two red squares indicate is that this one that looks like a bedside alarm clock, you click that and it automatically takes you back to book into my calendar. Or if you click the one that looks like a mouse, that will automatically add that application, or it'll automatically download that application for me to help you with remote support. So that's again trying to simplify that process to get that application or that product onto your computer. It's pretty good. And the normal stuff, this hasn't changed. I will still be happy to take a phone call from somebody. Text the word help to my mobile phone number is always good if it's during the day. And I will look at my mobile at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon as I start work. And from there, it will just mean that I'm going to look at those help text messages and figure out where I can fit you into my work plan for that afternoon. You can always send me an email, but as I said, the most exciting thing for me is you can now book directly into my calendar. I will make sure that as part of this presentation, when I publish it up online, I will put the link there so it's easier for you to find again. But remember that the link will be in the newsletters, and it will also be available on my website. So that's a very short and sweet presentation today, but please stay around. Although I'm finished the presentation, I will open up for questions in a second, and we'll hopefully see if we can answer those questions for everybody.